So proud of you, Denny. So proud of this race team. What a fight!
Proud of you guys. Pit crew, awesome recovery this week, man. Great job, keep me in it.
Well, as you heard right there, a lot of excitement when this thing was over with. But the 11 car has been fast all year long. They've just been really inconsistent on pit road. Yesterday, they put it all together. Consistency on pit road, an incredibly fast car, and a gutsy call to put them in that position.
Yeah, definitely. Put the whole race together, and that's one of the things they've struggled all year. If we dig back and look at the pit stall and pit crew, because Denny's been critical of them. He has. He's been outwardly critical. They put a day together. And if you look at it, let's go back and dig a little bit in that. Let me show you the one stop that wasn't ideal for him. You see, as they come to pit road, Denny locks the front tires, slides the nose a little bit closer to the wall. This ends up being the slowest stop of the day for the guys because the jackman's stuck and he's got a double pump around the wall over there. It slows them down. Denny comes away with audio saying, guys, that's my bad. I apologize for that. The pit crew put the rest of the day together, all in the mid-10s, a solid day with a great race car.
And sometimes all you need is a solid day to know when you come off pit road or you come on the pit road, you're going to have the exact performance that you need week in or day in and day out.
Yeah, it was a 4 or 5 spot loss on pit road, but you talked about, alluded to start with, the speed of the race car recovered them from that position. They were, I felt like, one of the 2 best race cars most all day long. Them and their teammate, Martin Truex Jr. If you watch them here, they raced around each other. I think at one point they had a double-digit lead on 3rd place. They really had long-run cars. They really raced around the racetrack any place they wanted to.
Yeah, watching practice and qualifying on Saturday, these were the guys that put together the consistent 5 laps, the consistent 10 laps, the consistent 15 and 20 laps. You knew it was going to, or felt like, that it was going to come down to these 2 guys. And they put on the show that we expected the Toyotas to put on.
One caveat I'd say is the 200 cars we thought had a lot of speed had issues and had to recover from them, and they came late. But let's break the race down as we looked at this. This was kind of, you mentioned it earlier, it was an old school race. Had several pits, several cautions in here. We had a pit strategy. Let's play the 11 and the 19 here. If you look at it, as they come down through on this lap position graph, they pit together. They pit together. Again, again, again. And these are separated, but let's put those 2 together. But if you look at it, when we get to this point here, at this last circle I've got, I'll clear that back out and we'll zoom in a little bit farther on this. At that point, they're on similar tire strategies. Everybody's got 1 set of stickers and 1 set of scuffs laying in their box. Well, this stop here that we're looking at, that's with like 58 laps to go. We've had 8 cautions in the last 100 laps. Chris Gaypart makes a big call here, going with stickers. And then what we saw here was the Hendrick cars, their short run speed got them in a position. Kyle Larson's got about a 2nd lead, gets up in the wall here, loses a little bit of it. Denny smells the blood in the water and just goes to work here.
And this is where these tires are so important. You see Denny, you saw the 5 car get up into the wall, 6 laps to go here. He gets that run on him, he takes a peek to the inside. We see the 51 car, I think it is, on the outside there. Kind of makes the 5 car change his line a little bit. Denny gets a good run, but can't complete it because when we get down to the next corner, the 51 car goes to the inside and the 5 car has his outside lane again. 3 to go. Traffic was a little bit of a factor in those other 2 runs, but we see the 5 car here. You see Denny just about a half a car width, down below him a little bit. He gets that run up off the corner. He sucks up in behind him and he pulls out and lays on that left rear quarter panel of Larson's car to try to drag Larson back. He doesn't get him dragged back far enough to make the full pass, but he does get an opportunity to run down below him and see what move he wants to make again as we get to the final lap. And he does the same thing. You see the get position again. The 5 car this time gets up into the outside wall. These guys were dancing the last time and they were on the same step. This time, the 5 car gets in the wall a little bit. Denny's timing's a little bit off. They get into each other.
Yeah, definitely one of these situations here. As you talked about, as we look at it from the front view here, you can see the 5 actually get in the wall. Denny's making the move. The 5 actually pulls off the wall. I think actually the 2 of them are, out, as you said, out of step.
As the 5 gets into the wall and then slows him down a little bit, he just loses just enough momentum that when Denny makes his move, the 5's in a different place, and that's just racing.
Really explain to the people out there, the front of these cars is pushing a lot of air, right? And that right front fender is pushing air over onto the spoiler of the 5 car, and that's actually pulling drag and pulling that car back.
Yeah, basically there's so much frontal area on these cars. There's such a big nose on these cars. I don't think people realize how big. There's that bubble of air out there. And when Denny took that, laid on the left rear quarter panel of the 5 car, it takes that air that comes around the front and dumps it all on top of the deck lid. If it's on top of the deck lid, it's got to go over that spoiler. If it hits that spoiler, it's dragging that 5 car back. Drug it back, more so than propelling Denny forward. It pulls the 5 car into the position that Denny wants. So Denny's basically driving 2 cars at one time.
This is a great race that shows the excellence in every facet,
Yes.
right? The pit crew put it together. Chris gave him a great race car, made a really gutsy call, and Denny drove the guts out of it, put him in victory lane.